Hello everybody, I am Erin of Juniper and Oaks, a crochet pattern designer at juniperandoaks.com. I like to use some fun stitches and make home decor items and present the patterns to you. I have many patterns for free on my blog, and I also am working on getting all of them here on YouTube. So today I'm going to walk through how to do this granny bauble ornament. Before we get on, if you are new here, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit that little bell so you get notified when I release any new videos with yarn related content. I do stitch tutorials, I do full pattern workups, I also interview other crocheters, crochet designers, and I do unboxing video of really cool crochet and yarn related items that I've purchased or that have got sent to me. So please subscribe and hit that little bell. Please comment below with what you are going to be, or what colors you're going to work your granny bauble into. So to get started, what do you need in order to make this granny bauble? Great question. You are going to need worsted weight yarn in 3 colors, and really it's just scraps of 3 different colors. This is just yarn that I already had on hand. I didn't go out and buy anything else. This is just some yarn that I had on hand in worsted weight yarn. Then I also used a size H hook. It's a 5mm hook. People have told me that I have tight tension when I crochet because they've had to go down a hook size or 2. So, and that's fine. If you make this pattern and it is not working up just right for you, you may choose to just add an extra row onto your granny stitch panels, or you can just choose to go down a hook size. If maybe my tension's too loose for you, you can go up hook size, whatever. Okay. And then the last thing that you're going to need is a bauble to put it in. So this is going to work. We're going to make 2 panels and then we're going to sew them around this bauble. You can get whatever size you want, but that's just going to affect how many rounds you do for your granny stitch bauble. This size is a 2.56 inch bauble, and that's the diameter. So from this point to this point is 2.56 inches. If you measure the circumference, it would be very different. And here it is. I have my measuring tape in this cute little container from Green Fox Farm Designs. Isn't that awesome? It's a yarn ball and a tea cup. Love it. This is just a Notions little box, but that's where I store my little thing. Anyway, I got this from Green Fox Farm Designs. Lisa is a friend of mine, and I like to support her business, so I bought that. Isn't that cute? I'll put an affiliate link below. So from end to end like that. Like that, I guess, is 2.56. And that is about 6.5 centimeters. Now, if we were to go all the way around the circumference, it's 8.5 inches. It's about 8.5 inches or 21.5 centimeters. You can get this at Hobby Lobby, Michael's, Joann's. You can use whatever baubles that you have in your Christmas box already. And there's probably some at the dollar store and whatnot. Sure. Let's get started with this granny bauble. The yarn that I'm going to be using is I have some green Furls Wander acrylic yarn that I've had for a different project, and I'm just working all of my baubles this year up with these colors because I just think they look so cozy and it'll look really nice on my tree. These ornaments are part of a ornament crochet along that I am hosting this year, co-hosting with Joanna of High Desert Yarns. For each day, for 2 weeks, Monday through Friday, each day there's going to be a brand new crochet ornament Bauble pattern that's going to be free on our blogs. So there'll be 10 patterns in this crochet along, and the patterns will be free on the blog. And if you would rather have the patterns all bundled together, easy PDF printables, we have the bundle for all 10 of these available as well, and it is very affordable. So click the links below to check those out, okay? Okay, so to get started with this Granny Bauble, you use your color A, and we're going to make a magic ring. If you don't know how to make a magic ring, I have a YouTube video on that. You can just, sorry, I messed up. So I'll just do it kind of in slow motion so you know what I'm doing. And there's different ways to make one, but this is, of course, how I do it. Okay. I think that worked. Okay, inside, it just feels really loose. I think I did that awkward. I'm gonna do it again. There we go, that's gonna be a little bit tighter. You know how I like do my tight tension. I think it's just the same, but it was just too loose for my liking. Okay, now inside the magic ring is where we're gonna get started. We are going to chain 3 in our magic circle, and then we're going to do 7 double crochets. So that chain 3 at the beginning counts as a double crochet. So at the end, we're really going to have like 8 double crochets. So it's going to count as 8 double crochets. No, it's a chain 3 and then 7 double crochet stitches. Of course, I don't ever count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to do 2 more because I counted my chain 3 as a double crochet when I counted. Okay, so 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then you take this end right here and you pull it tight. It makes a little circle. Then at the top of that chain 3, from the beginning, we're going to slip stitch to join. Yep. Then we find our scissors and we fasten that off. Okay. So we are going to be done with that color A for now, and then we're going to move on to color B. So in case you're wondering about our Furls acrylic yarn, I think this color here is patina. It's like this light green color. Then I'm going to move on to this kind of medium green, and this is called Meadow. And then finally, my color B is Conifer, or my color C is going to be Conifer, but more of a deep green, evergreen tree sort of color. So with color B, I am going to make a slip knot. And then between any stitch, like between the posts, double crochet posts here, I'm going to insert my hook and then just secure with a slip knot. Secure the yarn between any stitch and then chain 3. We're going to work double crochet clusters in between each of these stitches, sort of like a granny stitch, but I'm not going to do a chain 1 in between, okay? So I chain 3 and that counts as a double crochet, and so I'm going to do 2 more double crochets in between these stitches. And then, like I said, in between each of these stitches, we're going to do 3 double crochet. I am not going to do a chain 1 in between like I would if I was doing a normal granny stitch. The next round we'll do some chain 1s in between them. But in between each stitch, we do 3 double crochets. So in the end we should have 24 double crochets, or 8 of the double crochet clusters. Just going to work over that end. I really don't like weaving in ends. Who does? I'm not sure. If you do like weaving in ends, please leave a comment below. But for this pattern, we're just going to work over the ends a little bit, but really not much. I'm just going to kind of tie them and hide them in the back. Hope you don't mind. I figure that since this is an ornament and not like amigurumi or garment or something, the ends won't really come too loose. People won't be playing with these ornaments, they're just putting them on their tree. And there shouldn't be a chance for the ends to get loose, become untied. So once we get to the end, do our final cluster, and then we're going to slip stitch to that chain 3, and then fasten off, just like so. And that's the end of round 2. Okay, now we're ready for round 3. For round 3, we're going to use color C. And that is going to be my conifer color over here. Where's the end? Okay, so I'm going to make my slip knot, and I will pull that tight. Then in between any of these double crochet clusters, the clusters of 3, in between any of them, I'm just going to start with this first one here. I'm going to do what I did before and slip stitch to secure it in between those clusters, and then chain 3 in between that cluster where I've secured it. I'm going to do 2 more double crochets. So the same way we started row 2, we start row 3, and then this time I'm going to chain 1. So for this round, we're going to do true granny stitches between each of those clusters. The granny stitch is going to be 3 double crochets and a chain 1. So you find space between those 2 clusters. You're going to work 3 double crochets. Then chain 1. Then you find the space on the other side of that cluster, and 3 double crochets. In case you haven't caught on, we're using US terms. I'm sorry I haven't said that before now. And I'm just working 3 double crochets and chain 1 between every cluster. Just working a granny stitch between every cluster. Just a classic crochet stitch. more iconically crochet in the granny stitch, granny square. So these are cute. Mm-hmm. Oops. You guys watched me do that one wrong, didn't you? You said, Erin, stop, what are you doing? It's bedtime here at my house, and my kids should be sleeping, but I stopped this last section because my 3-year-old came out of bed. He was mumbling something about how I left the room when he still wanted to say something to me. Bless his little heart. He knows Mama loves him. It's hard bedtime. They just keep on wanting to talk. Okay, so that was my last granny stitch. And now to the top of this chain 3, slip stitch, and we can fasten off. Okay, and this working up really nice. I think so. Okay, we are going to start round 4. This is the last round of this panel. And you guys, we're going to go back to color A. This is how much yarn I have left of this before I reach back into my stash and find the rest of it. I have more, but I'm going to see if I can use up this little scrap. Do you guys think I can make it? We're going to play some yarn chicken and see who wins. Erin versus the scrap of yarn. Wish me luck. Okay, so I'm going to start it like we've done all the other rounds. Oops, not with a magic circle, but with a slip knot. Okay, then in between any double crochet cluster or in between any granny stitch in the chain 1 space, I'm going to attach how I've done in the past with a slip knot and then chain 3. We're going to do 2 double crochets in the same stitch, same chain 1 space, and then we chain 1. Then we're going to do a granny stitch in every chain 1 space. You do a granny stitch in every chain 1 space, 3 double crochets, and a chain 1. Oh, I was not expecting that. No, shame on you. Oh, I'm so sad. You see what happened? There was that little remnant, but it was tied in a knot. I could undo it, or I could just go like that. You've heard me say, I'm not too concerned. This is just an ornament for the Christmas tree. It's a handmade ornament, so it's not going to be perfect. I'm just going to... You're watching me live. This isn't live, but it's unedited. And I'm just going to tie a knot in the back. Guys, this is a Christmas ornament. Handmade Christmas ornament. It's not going to matter. There's a knot right there. Gracious, this little remnant. But if in the end I lose that yarn chicken, which I just might. And that'll be so sad, and I will edit this out and you won't even know. So, okay, in between every granny stitch, I'm making another granny stitch. Ooh, I might make it. Do you think I will? Maybe not. This is how much I have left. I have 2 more granny stitches to do. And I need to weave it all in. Not weave it in, I just need to seam my bauble together. One more. Oh, not one more. We're done. Oh, I'm gonna have enough, people. This is awesome. You've seen history. I'm gonna win this yarn chicken game. Okay. You see that? How round 4 was working a granny stitch in every granny stitch, just like a tip of granny stitch. Isn't that awesome? Okay. I'm not gonna clip this to fasten off since it's already too short, but you would fasten off with a long tail and secure. Okay, so make 2 of these. So do the same thing, pause the video, start at the beginning, come back, and then I'll show you what to do. For all of these ends, I'm going to do similar to what I just did when I reattached that. I am looking at this because I kind of like wove, or I worked over that end. So I'm just going to kind of cut it. For these ones, I didn't really work them in, so I'm going to tie them together. In the back side, I'm just going to tie them together. Make sure they're very secure. And then I'm going to cut them kind of short. Maybe I'll tie them to another color. But I'm just going to hide them back here. I'm just going to hide these ends in the back. And I'm not going to worry too much about them. These are Christmas ornaments. They're not stuffed animals, or not pillows or blankets where the ends are just going to become too loose and get in the way. It's fine. Okay. So maybe it's a mess in there, and maybe you're just being like, Erin, that's terrible, don't do that. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I don't care what you say. Even this one. Even this one from when there was a weird thing of yarn that happened to me. I'm just going to kind of cut that short. Okay. And then, oh. Okay. I'm going to save these ends for a little project I have going on. Okay. So, do that again a second time, second panel, and voila, look at that. I already did it. I already made my other one. This yarn is a little bit slippery. Do well. Okay, already made my other one. So that's YouTube magic. That's YouTube for ya. I always thought that was really cool, like on Bill Nye the Science Guy or Zoom. Did you ever watch Zoom on PBS Kids growing up? They would always like bake something and be like, oh, it actually, here we go. I think Julia Child probably did that too. Okay, so what you do is, I probably shouldn't have cut this other end here, but I did. Might regret that later. So maybe on your second panel, don't cut your yarn, just leave a nice long tail. So what we're going to do is we are going to put these together and then seam them, and then they'll stretch over this bobble here. Maybe your size H is bigger than mine. I feel like here the yarn was a little bit different, so I didn't have to stretch it quite so much over here. So it's okay. Handmade ornaments, same pattern, you're going to end up a little bit different. But this is how it's going to look. We're not going to seam it around right away. What I'm going to do is just, put these off a stitch like so. I'm going to put the wrong sides together. You know they're the wrong sides because the knots are on the inside. So we're holding the two panels together right side out with the two tails like 2 stitches apart. I'm just going to do it like 1 granny stitch apart. So that the chain 1 spaces kind of line up with the granny stitch on the other side. Does that make sense? Then we take our yarn needle and we take our nice long end and we're going to sew together using the whip stitch. So what does that mean? I'm going to sew these together using the whip stitch. So we're going to insert our needle through both. And through every stitch, we're just going to go around. Back to this side, go through that stitch, and around, and just working through every stitch. We're going to whip stitch all the way around until we have about like 8 stitches worked unsewn. And that's when we're going to insert our bobble. So just work this around. Make it as tight as you want. The more that you work these, maybe the more you kind of figure out what you're doing. And I'm really going to hope I have enough yarn for this. This is where we're still playing yarn chicken. So keep going around until you have 8 stitches remaining. Okay, I've got about 8 stitches remaining, and now I'm going to insert my bobble. Oh. That's going to wake my kids up. They're like, what's happening out there? Oh, goodness. Maybe I should have taken this back a little bit further. No, there we go. Not a problem, I'm just having butterfingers. Okay. We're going to slide the top of the bobble over to where we started over here, and then continue sewing around. We're going to continue sewing all the unworked stitches. Just going around. You'll see, like here on this one, I didn't have them 1 granny stitch apart. That's what that looks like. And here I did have them 1 granny stitch apart, so it kind of alternated that way. You can choose how you like it better. Try one way, try the other way. It's okay. We say it's just crochet. Don't have to get too anxious about it. Okay, once you get all the way to the end there, what you can do is secure that with a knot. If you had the remaining tail, here you can make sure you tie those together with a nice little knot. I was too hasty and did not do that. I cut my first tail. And then I just hide. You can like weave that in like this. And I just hide the tail like so. And cut. And there is a granny bauble. As it compared to my first one. Pretty good. This one's just green. This one's just green. I just lost my voice there. Oh no. Okay. Tell me which one of these you like better. You can tell me in the comments below. What did you guys think of my granny bauble ornament? You like it? Simple? Confusing? I really hope that you liked it. Hope that you found my instructions easy to follow. Please, if you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel by pressing the subscribe button and then click that little bell, and that will give you notifications every time I launch a new video. Please like this video and tell your friends about it. Tell your friends about my Christmas ornaments, my patterns, and especially that Christmas ornament cowl that I am running with Joanna of High Desert Yarn. We'd love for you to be a part of it. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye!